over the tibia and immobility of the right ankle and foot, along with excessive pain when pressure is applied to the affected area.
Okay, thank you. What happened here?
I was like tackled during the rugby game.
Alright, let's check it out and see how bad the break is. Well, as you can see, you have a complete fracture in your right tibia. That must have been quite a slight tackle. Luckily, it's also a simple fracture, so you don't have to worry about getting stitches.
What's a simple fracture?
Well, when your tibia bone or shin bone it was completely broken to pieces, but did not break through the skin, which makes it simple. However, the break went across the bone, making it also complete. It would have been a compound fracture if the bone penetrated the skin. So what I'm going to do is give you a full leg cast, and it should heal within 4 to 6 months. Well, when a fracture repairs, it goes through a process called bone remodeling. First, the dead bone tissue is removed by phagocytes, which are cells that absorb bacteria in the body. Then the bone starts to rebuild itself at the fracture site by chondroplasts, which form fibrocartilage. After that, osteoblasts or bone cells convert the fibrocartilage into spongy bone tissue. At the end of the remodeling process, osteoclasts absorb dead parts of the bone and spongy tissue is converted into compact bone.
Wow, that's kind of complicated. What is bone remodeling?
Bone remodeling is the replacement of old bone tissue with new bone tissue. During this process, bone resorption occurs, which is when minerals and collagen fibers are removed from osteoclasts along with bone deposition, which is the addition of minerals and collagen fibers to bone by osteoclasts. Bone remodeling occurs at different rates in different regions of the body. When the bone is injured, like in your case, your right tibia, the injured bone is replaced with new bone tissue. Bone remodeling can be triggered by exercising and changes in diet.
Oh, okay. What happens when too much tissue is formed?
It may form thick lumps called spurs that can interfere with movement of joints. An abnormal acceleration of bone remodeling will result in disease called Paget's, which will make the bones become hard and brittle and will fracture easily. This usually happens in the pelvis, lymph, lower vertebrae, and skull. Do you have any more questions?
Thank you.
No problem.
Anyone gonna tell me what's wrong with me?
Well, Miss Meturndice?
It's methandisi and it's glamorous.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Anyway, I've got some bad news.
Huh?
What? We have to amputate your leg.
What? I'm gonna sue you for everything you have.
God. Okay, calm down. I'm kidding. You only have a partial fracture in your right fibula.
What? Still a fibula? What is that?
Well, I'm gonna have to give you a full leg cast, but you have to make sure you don't do anything that will affect your bone regrowing and remodeling properly, or proper exercise, or kicking people. Also, you have to make sure you have to keep up with your mineral intake, such as calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium, and your vitamin intake, such as vitamins A, C, and D. The repairment of your bones will depend on these. Hormones will also affect the way your bone repairs.
Okay, what kind of hormones?
Anyway, there's the human growth hormone, which is produced by the pituitary gland, and insulin-like growth factors, which are produced locally by bone and also by the liver.
Right.
Too much human growth hormone results in giantism, and
Your hair's pretty.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And too little results in dwarfism.
So what's giantism? Is that like a giant?
Not exactly. It's just when a person becomes taller and heavier than normal.
Are you calling me a giant? I'm gonna throw a BF.
No. I mean, you're pretty tall for a girl, but no.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't always this sexy, but thanks.
Well, when you hit puberty, estrogen, since you're a girl,
Right. I mean, kind of in between.
produced by the ovaries, start to be released in larger quantities. This is responsible for the sudden growth spurt that occurs in the teen years.
Right.
Also for girls, it's responsible for changes in the skeleton that are typical for females, such as widening of the pelvis.
What happens in like boys?
In boys, sex hormones produced by the testes are responsible for growth spurts and adrenal glands in both sexes.
climbing me.
She can wait. Please. There are the thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland in your neck.
Don't choke me!
And there's insulin from the pancreas, which also stimulates normal bone.
My leg.
Did your weave fall off?
I think so.
Should we pick it up?
No, just sit there.
Okay. And so the pancreas, which also stimulates normal bone growth.
You don't give any dates, do you? You're kind of like boring.
Okay. Take this.
Cut.
So I had a great time shadowing you today. You have some pretty crazy patients. But I still have some questions about bone growth.
Go ahead.
So how does a bone grow in length?
Well, the epiphyseal plate consists of chondrocytes, which are constantly dividing. On the epiphyseal side of the plate, new chondrocytes are formed, while the old chondrocytes are on the diaphyseal side of the plate, are replaced by bone. This causes the bone on the diaphyseal side to increase in length. Around ages 18 to 25, a bony structure called the epiphyseal line is created.
What's the epiphyseal line?
The epiphyseal line is the site where the bone growth and length stops.
How does a bone grow in diameter?
Making a bone grow in diameter is the most straightforward process. To make a bone thicker, just add new bone tissue to that side. It's like taking a pipe and adding layer after layer of ducting to it. The pipe would get thicker and heavier as you go. The problem is the bone gets thicker and heavier as you go. In fact, if you started with a bone the size of a baby's and make it as large as an adult, you'd have a bone that's essentially solid. Baby bones have a very small marrow cap.